Yes indeed, Fullblast Radio. We are here on a Sunday. Can I get a check, mic check in the chat room? If y'all can hear us, give me the thumbs up.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Should be able to hear us. Check. All right. Okay. Check. We in here. Fly Quad, Brother Dragon D. Cole. My sis is in the building.
This the sister?
Yeah. This is going to be my favorite podcast show to do. And I know y'all know why. Because I got my firstborn, my oldest son, Isaiah Malik Torres Beckett. Sorry to give your whole government out, but you a business now, so people know your government.
Yes,
and
sir.
we're here to talk about his entrepreneurship, his rise to it, what him and his cousin are doing with their business, the moves he's been making in his career after college, his life, and I feel blessed and honored to be interviewing my son. Never would I thought I'd be interviewing my son, let alone on business ventures. We're both doing the same thing at the same time.
Definitely.
And it's like, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I'm like putting it into words. You know how you're working, but then when you got to take time to sit back and realize what's going on and it hits you. I don't want it to do that right now because I don't want to get emotional. So we're going to keep it like this right now. But shout out to my son. He's here talking about La Preneur. Is that how it's pronounced?
La Preneur.
Yes.
Like entrepreneur.
And RedTech. So, son, you know, I love you.
Love you too, Pop.
You're here. And let's kick it. The tribe is in the building.
Let's kick it.
Fullblast Tribe is in the building. That's the people that's been supporting me on my venture. And so let's go into you son. So how was life after high school and then the college experience prepared you for the business world? How did that start, your mindset?
Well, let's start a little bit before that.
Okay.
When my mental state when trying to decide what I wanted to do with my life, deciding whether I wanted to chase that 4 to 6 year degree to become something that I thought I wanted to do. You know, I wanted to be an architect. I absolutely love buildings, you know?
Yeah.
I'm a nerd for that stuff. And I'm just going to move inside because the traffic is really, really loud, actually. Yeah. I just realized that, like, there be some crazy people out there. So I did my 4 years of architecture. Basically, I thought the way of going about life was how they taught us, you know? Go to school, get your degree on whatever you felt like was something that you were interested in, you know, something that you can relate to and make money off of.
Yeah.
And for that, something that I loved, architecture, because it combined the digital and the physical worlds, you know? So you can go on a computer and design a whole building and then boom, see it on the streets. That was crazy to me. I thought that was like the craziest thing ever. Like,
to see your work
I was
like
so
that.
young. Yeah. So I pursued that at a very young age. Like I was in ninth, 10th grade, and I was in architecture classes already. I was like serious about it. I was in a class course called DDP that my school actually cut after 2 years, and I had to go to another school outside of my school for half the day. Like, you know, they have tech.
Yeah.
So
Wilson
I
Tech.
did, yeah. So I did 2 years of DDP, and then I did 2 years of tech for architecture, and I loved it. Aced the classes. The only classes where like I cared that I got an A in. The rest of them is just like whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Math.
as long as I passed them, don't care. So when I got to college, my first year was super disappointing. And reason being was that I had already done 2 summers of internships at an architecture firm. So I already knew what like life was like as an architect, you know?
Prior to that.
And I think I already had ruined it for myself because in college they teach you to be independent, artsy, and like whatever you can design in your head, you can put on the paper, right? But in the real world, it doesn't work like that at all. When most architects, I want to say 98% of them are doing work that is inspired by their customers, their clients. The client comes to you and tells you what they want, and you let them know if you can do it or not. Is it possible? So yes, you can add your little flair to it and see if the customer likes that. But at the end of the day, it's their decision and not yours. Only like the most prestigious, I guess, educated and the oldest architects are going to be able to get hired for their work because they've had tens and years of experience and people have already seen all of their buildings that are around, you know. This is how you get those random like New York City buildings with no purpose, but like designed by, you know. Those are the people that are like 50, 60, maybe even 70 years old and already made a name for themselves. So at this point, I was like, well, I'm not saying it's impossible, but let's be realistic. I know I love architecture, but that little disruption and that wave for me wasn't what I wanted to do. So I finished my degree regardless, and after that, I was like, I need to do something else. So my last 2 years that I actually finished my architecture degree. I came to the point where I was like, okay, I really love tech. I love computers, and I always have. And I realized that
me too.
Because, you know, like not only influenced by you, because you're always into like the techie stuff as well. The world is always changing around me, and our generation is just kind of like born into a lot of technology. But not a lot of us know how it works. So like we know how the phones work, we could do that stuff. But for a lot of our generation at the time, you know, we didn't know how like computers worked or anything like that.
Still had to be taught, you know?
Yeah, definitely. But I loved it. And I did a lot of trial and error on my own. I built so many computers. My mom was infuriated at me for all the stuff that I had in my room, all the parts, and my room was always a mess, just filled with just junk. But like, and she'd be like, "What is this? Like, what are all these parts? Like, what's going on?" I was like, I'm just doing what I love. So after she saw that, you know, I built some pretty crazy machines, like she realized that I really liked that stuff. So she was all right with it. And then my first job as a computer technician that I worked for like 2 years, I managed a computer store in Huntington. And that was the only job where I really, really liked the job, just because, I just liked to do what I love, I always knew I didn't want to ultimately work for someone for the rest of my life, but I didn't know how to go about that. It's just like, it's one of those things where like, there's way too much going on in my life right now to figure that out. I got bills. I had moved out of my parents' house and moved in with Cheryl, obviously. So doing all that, I was
Cheryl's my sister, his aunt.
Yes. Yep. And she had blessed me with a very heartwarming home, and treated me like a son, of course. Yep. So with all of that love, I was able to, figure out what I wanted to do, while also working and saving up as much money as I possibly can to, pursue my future. Ultimately, I just wanted a job that I had at the time that just paid more. I was just like, okay, with more experience, I just have to learn learn something new so that I can get paid more, because that's usually how it works.
Yep.
So I was working on certifications at the time, my A+, my Network Plus, Security Plus, and then trying to dive into those books. And that's
all certifications for computer programming and networking?
Computer repair, hardware, recognizing hardware and how to troubleshoot hardware. Okay. And then Network and Security Plus is just mostly troubleshooting like business networks, and like routers and servers and switches, and all that stuff, which I still love. But I actually didn't finish studying on like my Network and Security Plus, because I got so involved with building my own brand and my own company. But that came after I met my cousin. Well, I mean, I always knew my cousin, but it was just like, it was a long period of time since I had talked to him, and he should be on shortly.
He was doing his thing.
Yeah, and he's always doing his thing, and he always, didn't believe in the 9-to-5. You always got to work for yourself and find your own brand and build yourself up and learn about generational wealth and real estate. There's so many other things that like are important to like success in general. Like you can be successful working your 9-to-5, and it's awesome, it's beautiful, you know what I mean? Like you can be really good at something and get paid a lot of money for it. But I soon realized that the timetable that it'll take me to work myself up to that specific amount of money where I would be satisfied is still a dead end. I would still have to either use that experience to open up my own business or save that money and invest into real estate. But regardless, I would still be working for someone else. And that's where like I wanted to make that decision where, am I going to work till I'm 65, or am I going to work right now as hard as I possibly can to create my own business and make sure that I can retire at 35 and still be able to bring in as much money as I can and support my family as much as I can at a very young age. So I made that decision when I was fed books full of information on how the system has brainwashed a lot of kids to think that it's high school, college, work, die. That's it. You know,
because that's the system they want you to follow, because it creates the
and I believed in that system, because it just felt like the only way. It was the only way that I knew. But how do you know when you don't know? You know what I'm saying? So he taught me the things that I did not know. And you know, I'm it's not like I didn't believe him at first. So I always double checked everything he said, and everything he said was,
It's good. You did your own research on the research.
Is fact and like researchable, and I was like, okay, so everything that he has taught me up to this point has helped me immensely.
Nice.
You know, now your original question, I know I had to go on a somewhat of a tangent.
Real quick, before you continue, I want to quickly say, when you said that you had parts all over your room, disconnected stuff, and your mother was like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
I did the same thing. I did that to Grandpa. He's in the chat right now. I had his turntable. I had it taken apart, connecting it to my radio because I was trying to make mixtapes. So I had his records. I had his equipment, wires all pulled out, and he was like, "What is going on?" You know. But little did we know, you know, it led me to doing what I do and doing the same things. It's eerie, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but it's
definitely
that's some real shit right there.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, and every story that I've heard about any like successful, like, I don't know, artist, and what I mean by artist, like not really art, but people who love something so much that like they're so interested in it, they're willing to sit there for hours and play with that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And figure out how it works and how it ticks, because if they don't, it irks them. Yeah. You know? And so I had that itch for a long time. And every story that I've read, you know, any like tech developer or business creator, they've always had that little itch. They had to scratch it, however they had to do it, you know. They had to work their 9 to 5 and use all of their savings to invest in something to figure out how it works, you know. Like I definitely did that. So yeah.
It's that, like I said, like I would come home my 9 to 5 and be right up here working, and it's something I couldn't figure out, I wouldn't stop until it was figured out. Before I knew it, I'm looking at the clock. It's 1 a.m. You know what I mean? You don't even think about time when you're sitting there immersed in something you love. It's just you're just doing it, you know?
Definitely not thinking about time. Like I think I did that for like about a year or two, until I was like, I got to do something with this information that I've gathered. I didn't know that it was information that can be used. It was just something that I was just interested in to begin with, you know?
Yeah. So let's go into RedTech while we wait for Ty to come on, so y'all both can talk about Preneur.
Yeah.
So that led to your formation of, let them know, explain about RedTech LLC, right?
Yes. So RedTech, basically, at its purest form, is your neighborhood computer company. But it, over time, it will adapt into anything that you possibly need help for that's computer electronic related in general. To give you an example, we have, we have companies like Cisco and Amazon that have platforms that are absolutely unmeasurable. Yeah. So they have, so Amazon's, I think it's called AWS. They have a platform that basically, it helps almost everybody it helps almost everyone that needs a cloud service. Either that's like, there's so many things that they have. They have cloud services. They have troubleshooting. They have mobile techs everywhere. And then everyone is like, the way they have it set up, everyone is like a independent contractor that works for Amazon.
Yeah.
But they
You're not on their
Amazon
payroll.
still gets the credit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting the way they have it set up. But
Say that one more time. That they're independent contractors, but what?
yeah, so it's like Amazon will hire a third party to fix something and then get paid for it because they had the lead. You know what I mean? So it's like they've expanded into the point where their credit and their reputation is so high that they're able to do basically anything, you know? Yeah. And with the AWS that they have, AWS is, what is the acronym? What does it stand for?
Is it Amazon Web Service?
I think so, if I'm not mistaken. Oops.
Yeah. Let me look it. I can look it up real quick.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Amazon Web Services, cloud IT service management company.
Yeah.
They're a subsidiary of Amazon, providing on-demand cloud computing platforms to APIs to individuals, companies, and governments on a metered pay-as-you-go basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have this whole infrastructure that's set up, and it's definitely one of a kind.
So is that what you're kind of want to template RedTech in the future?
With RedTech, the way I want to have RedTech set up right now, the main thing that I want RedTech to be known for is just a reliable like henchman of people that you can call to repair basically anything, whether that is a giant business network. I definitely want to set up cloud computing and cloud storage. There's a lot of potential in cloud storage, and because right now the internet's only going to get bigger, and everybody is going to need some sort of external cloud storage or some sort of service in general to help them out.
If you're not already using it.
I have so many ideas when it comes to those tasks later down the line. But for right now, most of my, if not all my clients are just like like I said before, your basic neighborhood computer repairman. And sooner or later, I will expand this year, and I will be opening up a store here in Miami. Because after using my managing skills that I've developed for the past like 2 to 3 years in the store that I managed in New York, hopefully I should be able to take all those skills, train someone, and put them in the position that I was in, and just gather an army of people to be able to do what they love to do, pay them respectfully, and take over the area, you know? It's 100% possible, for sure. Right now, I have a lot of ideas for patents for specific, I can't really talk about them publicly.
No, don't do that, because someone will take that idea.
But some very revolutionary ideas that that could be implemented into the computer, that could definitely change the way computers are, I guess, maintenance in a way.
Okay.
I could talk to you more about that later, but for right now, let it be known that I'm definitely working on something huge. It just requires a lot of capital, and once I'm able to find the right engineers and the right software guys, I could definitely make it work. I'm like I'm like the Steve Jobs with the idea that walks in the room and is like, I want 1,000 songs on this tomorrow. And everyone's like, this guy's crazy, but I guess we'll make it work. Like, I've got some pretty crazy ideas.
Hey,
The idea is
they might
actually
sound
so
crazy now, but they'll be
yeah,
genius
for
in
sure.
10 years or something. So
The idea is so crazy, but it's not one of those ideas where it's like, oh my god, that's a pipe dream that'll never work. It's one of those crazy ideas where it's so, I guess, controversial in a way where they actually have specific laws against computers and robotics being able to do specific things. So, for example, right now, you're not allowed to design any robotics or AI that can make choices on its own to fix and develop another AI or robotic. And you can't do that. That's something.
you
It's
can do
illegal.
it, but best believe the government
Yeah.
is probably doing that
Oh,
already.
for sure. They said we can't do it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not for them.
Yeah.
Those rules don't apply to them.
And these fools,
Obviously.
Never
you know?
watched Terminator. Like, you didn't see how that
Yeah.
panned out, right? And it's
Yeah.
still, it's great.
But using legalese and loopholes, there are ways to be able to design specific infrastructures that can get around those little problems. So right now, I'm slowly but surely writing a manuscript for this stuff, and it's so far it's coming out pretty good. But I need more technical, software savvy people on my side to be able to like implement raw code and start working on this, and that requires a lot of money. To be able to pay, like, I need to be able to pay at least 30 to 100 software developers for at least 5 years without making a dime. So that's it's expensive.
So-
It's not like I'm sitting in my garage and putting a couple pieces together and saying, voila, like I made the iPod.
Yeah. Like the
I
movies.
need people who are really good at what they do and understand how to get my idea in the physical realm. And only I would have to study it up myself so I can converse with these type of people, which I'm currently doing as well. But it's going to take some time. But that's later down the line. That's like, I might be like 40, 50 years old before something like that comes out. But it's way ahead of its time, and I'm thinking way ahead of my time. So that's something that's going to be like when I really start raking in some cash. That's something I'm going to be investing, because I'm super confident that it's going to work out. But for right now, RedTech is going to be
the building block.
Your Geek Squad on steroids, And everybody hates Geek Squad because they rip you off. You go there and they charge you like $150 just to look at your stuff. So don't do that. Yeah, and then
I'm
they'll
never
tell
taking
you
my stuff there. Never.
Yeah, never.
I'll call you, or I'll open it up and try to figure it out.
Yeah, that's the only way, honestly.
Well, hey, do you do any like consultation services with like RedTech?
Yeah.
Because I would like to definitely post that up.
the
Ty's
consultation.
just coming in. Go ahead.
You can use I can send you my Yelp link, and people can sign up to get a consultation with me for whatever either if they're having an issue with a specific product, or right now I have a lot of people who are working from home that need a new setup. And right now there's a huge, I was talking to you before we started, there's a huge problem right now when it comes to inventory and distribution of current electronic parts.
Yeah.
We have one of the most interesting times right now when it comes to technology in general, because you have, and like, try to compare this situation with other like subjects. So we have people of the high class buying the same things that the people of the low class need at the same time. So you have two entirely different classes buying something that is basically, I mean, it's meant for everyone, don't get me wrong, but usually when someone is super rich in a specific way, they're not really buying the same things we're buying, you know?
Of course, yeah.
You know, like, it's just like, it doesn't happen like that all the time. But right now what's going on is graphics cards, motherboards, processors, all these things are being bought up in bulk by I don't even know, like, just everybody. And what that's doing right now is this is putting a lot of pressure on distributors and manufacturers that are COVID affected factories already, that are, you know, probably already having issues with staffing and all that stuff. So now we have a limited amount of supplies and a huge demand for this new technology that just came out. And basically what's going on is, you've heard of Bitcoin mining, right?
Yep.
So
I started investing in it.
Yeah. So right now, the people who actually mine that Bitcoin, what they're doing is they're putting a large lump sum of cash aside to buy this new equipment that just got released by NVIDIA. And NVIDIA, as controversial as that company is right now, I have like a love-hate relationship with NVIDIA. They're so weird. They're like, they come out with amazing products, but they have absolutely horrible management. It's just this is the weirdest thing in the world. It's like going to Chick-fil-A, getting the best burger, but they're like cursing at you the whole time. It's like, what is this? It's like, do I want to be here? But this burger's good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing. Like, they're releasing some really good tech right now, like graphics cards in general, that are basically twice as good as the ones that came out previously. So what's happening? It's okay. So what's happening is they're so good that everybody's jumping on them, right? And what's happening is these Bitcoin mining machines are getting so efficient with this new tech that the people who are already making money from the Bitcoin mining before put all their dough into this new tech. Instant hundreds of thousands of dollars, you know what I'm saying? Like an absurd amount of money, and they're getting return like crazy. I follow a guy on Instagram right now. He has a weird name. It's like, I don't know, Bitly to something. So I don't even know. It's like some weird name. And he bought, I think, he bought like 20 of these new cards that came out, and he's making like $123,000 like every 2 months.
What? Off
of Bitcoin mining, so it's like, there are people like him that are public making this amount of stuff. I can't fathom the actual Bitcoin mining companies who are scalping these products and buying them from everywhere just to be able to fill their racks up with these new tech, because it's just so much money they can make off of, you know. So what's happening is you have people like my clients who need these cards to do their video processing and their rendering and all that stuff, you know. And then you have people that aren't working a 9-to-5, but they have a company that mines Bitcoin, and they just buy all the stock.
Yeah.
So now we have no stock, high demand. Oh, the prices are skyrocketed for everything. It's impossible. Like right now, I'm building a new rig, and I have to pay up to like 25% more than MSRP just to get specific parts, because that's how high in demand they are right now, and it's difficult. So it's like either you wait for the manufacturers to figure out how they're going to be able to distribute and manufacture more of these parts faster, or I just have to wait, until the hype dies down. But I said that for the last series of cars, and the hype never died down. It's hard to get the last series of cards and the current series of cards. So it's like I can't even like invest in a previous generation of technology because because people can't buy the current generation. So all the people who want to buy current gen buy the last gen, and now the last gen sold out because they're not buying the they can't buy current gen. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a huge problem right now. So it's nothing that can be fixed because it's technically a duopoly. It's a legal duopoly. So we have AMD and NVIDIA control all of the world's desktop processors, because there are some there are phone processors that are controlled by Snapdragon, I think, is one of the phone processors.
Okay.
Yeah, very weird. I think it's a Chinese-based company, Snapdragon. That's what are in iPhones and most Androids, because these don't use Intel, Intel or any of that stuff. But the AMD and NVIDIA are a current legal duopoly, and there are people who are trying to break it down, and they're trying to be able to figure out if they're actually in cahoots with each other, because it only takes one phone call to be like, hey, I'm releasing this product at this price, it does this, what do you guys got? And it could definitely disrupt everything, So, and as long as they're making money, they don't care, You know what I mean? And they're making a lot of money right now, an obscene amount of money.
Big money bends any type of rule. It really
for sure.
There's no rules when big money's like that involved.
I mean, it's so crazy. Like if you think about almost any product that's in your household, there's more than like 10 to 15 different manufacturers of that specific product. Like microphones and headphones, like there aren't two manufacturers in the world. That's not how things work. Exactly. You know what I mean? But to get involved with computer processing and making, the problem is integration. Like you can't just make a processor and say, look, I just came out with the new processor. Like it doesn't work like that.
Yep.
The code and the compatibility that has to have with the products and the machines and Microsoft and Windows and Apple, like it's way too complicated. People are just like, whatever, let AMD and NVIDIA handle that, and we'll just invest. That's all we can do until someone takes on the task and decides that they want to invest billions of dollars before seeing return to be able to catch up to these people. There's no way. Yeah. There's no way.
They're too far ahead of the game.
What's going to end up happening within the next 10 years for sure, and I'm calling it right now, the government will break up these companies and force them to.
There's a monopoly.
It's a legal duopoly, and it's bad. It's really bad. It's almost like,
remember all the big companies were trying to merge and government was suing them for antitrust because they were saying, they're being a conglomerate. There's no competition.
Look at like Sprint and like AT&T. You know how many companies AT&T has under AT&T? It's crazy. Yeah. Like they have what? Uverse, DirecTV. what is it? They have Uverse Direct to TV. They have something else too. They have like mad companies under them because they were forced to split so many times. It's too big. And then someone recently tried to buy Time Warner. I think it was AT&T or somebody tried to buy Time Warner, and the government was like, "You guys can't do that. Like, you can't just buy one of the biggest networking companies while you're already one of the biggest. It just doesn't work like that." So we have a lot of weird stuff going on right now, and like I said, within the next couple of years, they're gonna force to break up AMD and Nvidia in some way, shape, or form. I don't know.
Yeah,
they'll figure it out. Shoot.
Can y'all hear me on this mic?
Yeah, well,
it sounds better. It sounds better than the other mic.
It sounded about the same to me.
Sounds the same? Okay. It sounds better to me. I hear myself in the headphones. So, we had Ty on. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it dropped out. He was driving though.
Oh. Yeah, he'll be at his spot soon.
I think he was headed to what was he headed to? One of the parks nearby or something like that.
Okay. So briefly, tell everybody about the Preneur, and then when he comes in, then he can chime in. Like what is your part? Explain the business and what is your stake in it.
So basically, right now, I'm basically like chief of operations. So
okay. Oh, he just chimed in too.
Oh, he just chimed in.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, he'll be in. Should be in 1 second.
I will just wait for him.
Okay. Shout out to everyone tuned in, man. Fullblast Radio. Young black entrepreneurs doing their thing the legal way. Right way. It's too much in the news, the young generation is, especially with the music, they're messed up, they're not talented. But like I saw a post, we don't need everybody to be a rapper. We need black engineers. We need black other than rapper and ball players.
Yeah.
Well, and it's important to highlight that as much as we highlight the music and entertainment.
For sure. I mean, like you said, we need to shed more light on entrepreneurship and individualism because people are way too tied in to the system and don't understand that they can work for themselves. It's okay I'm not, bashing education. It's one of the most important things that you can get. Especially if you're going to be an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, you got to go to school for that, but you really should figure out how you're going to take advantage of that knowledge and work on your own. Yeah. It's super important to yourself and to society in general.
Exactly. So Ty's in. I guess we're waiting for him to put his camera on, and you kick it with him. Shout out to everybody in the chat. I see y'all. Brandon, what's good? Devon Bay Networks, good to see you again, brother. Rasta Gideon. Rasta wants to know how can get in contact with you as far as your business services. Do you want to leave an email or go to your RedTech on Instagram?
Yeah, so you can either DM. I wish I could put Can I put the links in here for you to paste it?
Yep.
In the chat.
Yeah, put it in the chat.
Here we go. So,
you can either email redtech.miami@gmail.com, or you can go to my Yelp.
Okay. redtech.miami@gmail.com. I will put it in the chat room. Okay, why is it not letting me copy it?
Hold on, let me get the links. But yeah, the people right now that can take advantage of like my business, the people who really need a reliable tech service that's going to help them with the questions that they have every day about, why their computer's slow, what they can do about that, or what should they invest in next when it comes to a new laptop, a new phone, a new tablet, your everyday things that you're going to need every day. If you want to work from home, what specific things that you need so that your computer is going to be up and running every day. I try to keep my services 24 hours. But for right now, before I hire someone new, it's just me. But I'll take on all the work that I possibly can. Right now, I do have a few clients that I'm working with currently. And, it's definitely, so far it's going pretty well. I really like the way it's going. I've pumped in a lot of money in the marketing recently. And I'm going to start seeing more and more return over time. And just playing with it, messing with Google ads and Facebook ads and Instagram ads and Yelp and all that stuff.
Yeah. We been trying to figure all that out as well. With Fullblast, with Google ads and stuff like that.
So I'm going to post the
Ty, if you can hit. Go ahead.
The Yelp. Just post the Yelp in here as well. And the Instagram is RedTech NYC.
Oh, that's your So that's your business info on Yelp. All right, I'll put that in the chat.
So you can apply so you get a consultation through there. And I actually just made that Yelp page not too long ago because I totally forgot about Yelp. I'm not going to lie, because I've been using Instagram for so long. And Instagram was working for me, but Yelp is huge for small communities. And people actually really rely on Yelp. So I'm starting to get into that a little bit more.
Yeah. Okay, so we're waiting for Ty to unmute his mic and his camera. If you can hear us, Ty, we're ready for you, brother. 12:50. We still good on time. We're still good on time. Doing a pre-game show at 2.
Here we go. Testing 1, 2. Y'all can hear me?
Oh,
hey,
yes.
What up?
See, I was talking about the technology and the diversity of the graphic card game.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember hearing you saying that you were wondering who's actually behind the abundance of those graphic card games and things. I mean, not the graphic cards, but just those certain motherboards and things like that,
Yeah, the people who are heavily investing into those.
Yeah, it seems like sometimes that people don't know, but then that's where my field of business comes in at. They always know. People just follow the money. Those are people that are looking for gold. So that's the new way of mining. You mentioned you mentioned Bitcoin as far as mining. So now people are mining technology. Technology gets cheaper every 14 days. So every 14 days is how people live in the technological world. Like they say in the Bible, I guess 1,000 years is like one day to a God, right? So all of this technology that people are talking about, Bitcoin and, using digital currency and social media and, quantum computers, like somebody else out there that is heavily invested, they've been dealing with that shit like last year, 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that stuff is old now. But all of those components, they still have so much gold. So it's very important that they know who the hell, is getting that gold and how they get their hands on it. So that's what's going on in our world right now. You make something like a computer from RedTech, that model gets old, they melt it down, they rise the gold, they could keep it for themselves. That gold will never get back into another computer again before somebody else buys it as a bar or as metal or as just, scraps. That's what's going on. The ultimate level of greed is becoming so privatized. It's getting real dangerous. That's what's going on.
Yeah.
So right now, somebody like yourself, somebody like me, you, or yourself, we could create things that is basically productive and useful for the world. But the selfishness of it is that, this stuff is recyclable. God, like gold is sweat from the gods. I was teaching you the other day, right? So like they either gonna find it deep inside the earth, or they have to basically get it monotomically, or they have to wait the third party, which is when you drop your cell phone or you donate your computer, your PC, and they have like, oh, give me your computer for $1. Give me your used laptop for $1. They have all of those different hustles. Like these people are literally pouring hundreds and hundreds of laptops into some acid, and then the gold floats to the top and they skim it. And that's just their business,
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that gold goes where? It goes to people that are competing with platinum. Platinum is used in rhodium and all of that stuff. That stuff is medical, man. Like the medical field is what keeps us alive. So as long as the medical field is going to advance, they're always going to be lying, talk about they're looking for cancer treatments, and they're looking for this. They have all of that stuff. This stuff is just to keep them advancing. Because, if they gave you the treatment, then you wouldn't need them, right?
The money
It's
and the
like,
cure.
how they keep you needing them. So if they gave you one computer and that one computer could upgrade itself all the time, then you wouldn't need that actual physical model, the hardware. They just figure out a way for the hardware to not be, obsolete all the time. And you have to kill it, reborn it, kill it again, reborn it, and somebody's always making money during the rebirth. I think that's very interesting that people aren't catching on to that. As entrepreneurs or individuals, civilians, like we understand the basics of like you like to eat, steak, but you don't want to pick out the cow. When we were kids, you could go to a restaurant and you could pick out the lobster, right? You'd be like, oh, let me get that lobster right there. That was cute when you and your aunts went to Red Lobster back in the days, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like, let's do that with steak. Let's do that with steak now. Let's go pick out a whole cow. Then you're gonna watch me put them in the, I don't know how they do it. If they chop their head off or they shoot them in the head, whatever. Like that's a process you would have to be willing to sacrifice to understand how it goes down in order for you to really, truly enjoy your meal. But people aren't willing to do that, and they know that. They meaning, entrepreneurs, people that take the time to understand the psychological mind and how things work. So if there's a way you could take advantage of just having enough money, resources, and financial stability to get you around people that can inform you on what should you do with all of your scrap metal, or who should you call, what companies do you need to get licensing from to own this type of acid, like people will be different. So all of these conversations are happening because Black people never had the chance to have these dialogues. And I think it's really cool that like all of this stuff is coming in the air now. All of this stuff is like getting around, and it's like,
coming to light.
People are being conscious to like other different avenues that they could get money. But it's just so messed up that people don't look at it from a military perspective. Being an entrepreneur, the only thing that's equivalent to it is the military. That's the only, should I say, form of business that's equal to being, should I say, relevant or relatable to an entrepreneurial mindset. Everything else is just playing games and looking for some type of natural way to make shit happen.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen naturally. Nature versus nurture, right? So in this world is designed for violence and entrepreneurialism. As soon as you doubt that, you're just going to get ate up. You have to choose your violence, choose your entrepreneurialism, and you invest into it. as much as you can.
Right.
Because if you don't, then you're just a victim on everybody else's entrepreneurialism and violence.
Yep.
It could be McDonald's, Starbucks, Honda, any of those people. I just think that if we became more business, conscious, then you could actually start being more militant conscious. So I don't think that a lot of entrepreneurs fail because they're bad at what they do. I think they fail because they don't have a military warrior side of things. People want to play chess because it's a fun game, but they forget this is about death and life. You know what I'm saying? You're literally making a game every day, and it's like, what is it, 14, 16 pieces a piece? That's 32. So it's like, all right, cool. This is life and death. But it's cool if I take a piece and you take a piece. You take it very lightly. But why don't you do that with business? People out here will erase you. Whatever your last name is, your middle name is, they will erase you. How?
Like
because they'll watch you and prey on you like a spider web. Remember that gentleman was talking about getting a spider on his face, the spider web on his face?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was a metaphor for him saying that he has to create a trap that's similar to a spider, how he has a network that's so big and so extended. As long as something gets trapped in that web, he could feel it from a long distance and he could go back to it and eat it. That's what they do to us. But he uses their spider analogy.
Yeah.
These people use owls. They use bees. That's how they do it. You could get more, what do they say, get more bees with honey, right? But an owl could see at night.
Yeah.
So the masters of mankind, they worship the bee and they worship the owl. Because the bee, they got everybody so gassed. Everybody's doing what they think that they want to do for a living, but it all comes back down to the mother bee. Thousands and millions of people are running out, cultivating all of the different pollens, building up their, talent, going to the gym, trying to eat good, this or that. But it's really just for the queen. And that's how America looks, And that's how, and all the queen is teaching you that you can do the same thing. That's the difference between nature and nurture. You can get taught to reduplicate it, or you can just join it and be conscious that it's going down and don't go outside the box. Because you're comfortable. You're comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun watching it. Like, think about it. Queen Elizabeth is the only living queen right now that controls admiral law, and she owns probably 90% of all the land in the world, and she's alive. So anything that travels, and she has her face on money. Like, who wouldn't want to be like that? You hear what I'm saying? So all of those older white dudes, the founding fathers, they didn't want to be a part of the beehive anymore. So they broke away and they created this America thing with some Africans that agreed. So you have African dudes, you got English dudes. They both don't like to deal with women and be under that reign, and they come to this area they call Turtle Island. We're Native American. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
A lot of people, they don't know how to claim their Native American roots because why would you know? The military destroyed it. They gave you something else. So your business and your military, geographical understanding have to be the same. That's what difference is of why some people's businesses fail and why some people's businesses succeed. They just lack that little bit of...
We lost him. That's Ty Hunter. He's the CEO, right, Isaiah, of Preneur. We gave him to talk about the business, but right now he's giving us some lessons I think we need to hear, and it's dope. It's dope to hear from young minds as well. Word up.
Way past the woke culture. It's just fact.
Yeah. I mean, y'all putting it into fruition. Y'all are not just speaking hollow words, Brandon said the bandwidth couldn't hold all that knowledge. That's why I cut him off. Hey, sometimes you got to think. Sometimes certain stuff happens. I know when I've done certain shows, all of a sudden, the internet's messing up for some reason. Or I'm playing certain music, but that's here and there.
I think either he most likely did drop connection.
Yeah. Wait for him to come back on real quick.
Is there any way you could turn your mic up just a little bit?
Let's see.
Sure. It's like I could.
It's actually up. How about now?
Yeah, I can hear that. Sounds good. So I have my phone volume all the way up. It's like your mic volume's a little bit lower.
Check.
Maybe I can turn you up from here.
Check. Good.
Yeah, I also hear a little bit of an echo though. Is that because your speakers are on too? You think you can hear yourself?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's better?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I turned the speaker down. I'm still trying to figure this thing out. I got the voice meter and trying to reroute different audio signals.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know if you know about the voice meter program. You can reroute your audio to go different ways. You can kind of like the audio from here is going into one. Then I can have the audio from the browser going into another one. So that I could adjust the levels on different things, even though it's coming through one computer.
Yeah, I mean, with the audio, I'm definitely not versed in like audio.
Your aunt says I need RedTech to figure it out.
You need RedTech. What's going on?
Because the audio issues I'm having. So he says I need RedTech.
Yeah. Audio engineering and like audio hardware in general is super dope. I can set it up, but I would have to definitely get more into it, like you, to be able to like troubleshoot it for real.
Yeah.
It's like it's very involved with that's why one thing I love about tech, like there's so many niches under the technology branch. I could be the best at building computers or the best at troubleshooting and helping people with their servers and their networks and all that stuff. But there's always going to be somebody else that I'm going to have to hire that's good at something else that I can't do, which is totally fine. I'm going to need a home audio visual team, a whole team for that. Okay. I can't wait to start getting to that stuff.
All right, Ty's back with us.
Welcome back, Ty.
Let's see. Wait for him to unmute his mic. Yes, y'all. Fullblast Radio. We got the owners of RedTech and Preneur.
How you feeling?
Young black entrepreneurs. Ty, glad you're back with us. I was just introducing you as the CEO of Preneur.
Oh yes, sir.
We want you to elaborate on the business, how you came into fruition on starting it, like with your past and how it came into play, and where you see it going in the future.
Yeah, sure, indeed. Well, Preneur basically is a sister company to Desire Entertainment. Desire Entertainment, I started when I was an artist. I used to basically write songs and, record a lot, as a lot of people start as they were artists, and we have a love for that. I feel like when I was young, let's say young to me is like under 21, under 22, the labels had artist development, and the artist development to me was like after school program. So, back in the days, the younger, community as Black people and minorities, they had more different programs or tentative different curriculums after school that people had to deal with, regardless if it was like dealing with like charity or dealing with like some Black Panther type stuff or like some type of like going to the library or helping with just homework. But my thing was music. So what happened was that the artist development level of business disappeared, and then the labels didn't have artist development no more. And I just remembered having that kind of mentorship And I just thought that was cool. So like, I guess as a young man and, you know, as a young entrepreneur, I looked at it like, damn, I think that's supposed to be around. Like, where is that? Where are these people and these labels that we used to see all the time? Besides the A&R, like they would have people come through and work on all different kind of qualities and talent and weaknesses and strengths. Like they just don't have that no more. So as I was recording, I realized that like if my friends had a passion and they weren't going to be productive, they probably needed a little guidance. So I would just give them advice that I would hear from different, you know, older gentlemen in the business. If I met them at Island Def Jam, or, you know what I'm saying, if I met them through Sony, or, you know, if I met, you know, anybody through like Epic Records or before E1 was around and all of those different kind of record labels, before like Cox was around, different people, you see them working and they give you advice. And these people are just so good with working with nothing. They're so good with working with what they got. And you know, should I say going forward affordably and having enough knowledge and network to quality of executing work. So it's just like, maybe they don't have all of the money to do things in a full package right now, but they actually have the money that people need when it's time to get things done, period. So as long as they have the best quality people in their network or their phone or whatever it was, their email at the time, I've seen people utilize that. And it always helped them stay relevant for years. But, you know, so now as I got older, I was like, yo, you know what? I love rapping. I love, you know, freestyling off the dome. Like, I feel like I could be toe-to-toe with anybody doing that type of stuff. But that's like more of like a lyrical exercise for fun. I love money. So it's just like, yo, let me stop playing around and stop doing it as a hobby. Did you find it, baby? You find it? The drink. No. You know what I'm saying? You find it as a hobby, you know, do it more instead of doing it as a hobby. Now it's just like, let me figure out a way, you know, to pay my bills off of this thing. So I'm like, cool. If you can invest and you package and you could reproduce in a specific type of level, you should be fine. So I'm like, all right, let's just do that. Because that's what the people, artist development companies basically was telling me. Like, oh, if you have a look. It's all vanity, you know, exactly. Should I say, type thing. You know vanity what I'm saying? Driven. Like, there you go. It's all vanity driven. So like I was taught from 14 years old, like if you don't look like this or sound like that, you have to try because then it'd be easier for us to sell it. And I kind of respected it because, you know, certain cars, like a Chrysler 300 looks like a Rolls Royce, but it's not. But as long as it does, it can sell it. So that's what they do to people. And people don't understand that sometimes psychologically in business because that's where the warrior is. The warrior is sometimes not always about violence as far as like violent to kill. It could be aggression and tenacity. So like the tenacity to understand your competition, the tenacity to have similarities but not be that similar to the exact extreme. Like those people that are the masters of mankind when it comes to your form of business or the level of life that you went to, that's what they mastered. They put their emotions to the side. They don't care what people think. You have McDonald's, well, then we have Burger King. But what's the difference? We cook ours on the grill. That's the difference, you know? And then boom, now they're making millions of dollars. Like people have to figure out a way to keep that kind of action and tenacity to keep reproducing what already works, not make it too different. You don't want to reinvent the wheel, but if you could do it in a group with understanding as a family and as a culture or people that come from the block or whatever it is that you want to call it that has to do with recognition and something you're familiar with, yo, it's worth so much more. Or maybe that's just to me because it's easier to just go meet strangers and just be like, yo, this is Djaytiger and Djaytiger, this is a stranger. He's an investor. We make a little money off of him. If he's satisfied with it, he either keeps the relationship or not. And then people just keep bouncing around with that kind of love or with that just kind of business mindset. But with Preneur, I was looking at it like, you know what? I'm only going to deal with the entrepreneurs. Desire Entertainment, I dealt with anybody that just had a good passion and they were just trying to be productive. So you could have been a model, a chef, or any of those things, just trying, an aspiring painter, whatever. Like we would deal with you in a way that we could help you build your brand, get you some content, and cross-promote your services with ours. So that's what Desire Entertainment was for, and that's what it still is for. It's like basically a platform where people could just network with each other and they could do their own thing, but I had to make it fun and not too commercial. And I needed to give something to the people that would make them, I don't want to say dumb it down. I just want to say make it more diverse. So I went from Desire Entertainment, and I guess I dumbed it down, or I made it more diverse by calling it Bad Bitches and Good Weed. So then I had Bad Bitches and Good Weed. That ended up letting me become more into the streets, more into the ground root level. Because Desire Entertainment, when people see you on like Nick Cannon show, or see you with like Love and Hip Hop, or supplying models for different big videos, they might believe they not good enough to step to you, or they might think they can't afford your services. Sometimes you could blow up a little too fast and get the recognition that you want from a group of people that have money, but they might assume that's not the money that you know what I'm saying, you're asking for. For example, we all like to gamble, and we don't mind gambling sometimes, but sometimes you might drive by a casino and be like, I ain't got that kind of money. But the casino never told you like you needed to come in here with $1 million. You could have went in there with $20. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
But how would you know unless one of your mans went there and he was honest? You get what I'm saying? So that's where the dilemma of the casino comes in at. People aren't going to be honest and say, nigga, I went there with $20 and I came up. People are like, yeah, I went there with like 5 racks. You know, I lost 2 and I made back 5 and I'm up. Like in the business of an entrepreneurial world or a preneur world, you're going off of your desire. You're like, damn, man, I just want to have a good life, enjoy my kids, and eat fucking strawberries and bananas all day. But like, what's going to get you there? Real estate and technology. That's it. Anything that you deal with, it's either forms of those two. So you have to figure out a way to master your understanding and your understanding and overstanding of the real estate or the technology world. And however you want to dumb it down to make it language for yourself to define it, you need to get on your job and do that immediately. Because a rock to somebody else might be a piece of land to somebody else. You get what I'm saying? It's just like, oh man, what I'm doing with this rock, that might be a whole piece of land to somebody else. To somebody else, I might just be a sample of something that could lead them to know if they should even do something to it later on in life. So all of these definitions of purpose and position, it's our job to do that because nobody has done that for us. That's the difference between us and our enemy or the opposition or whoever's the opposite of not being oppressed. You know, they have somebody telling them, you're from here and this is what we need to do to stay away from there. And this is what we do to maintain being away from there. And this is how hard we got to go. If you don't follow these rules, then you're going to relate to the masses. It's not a black and white thing. It's just all wrong and right. You know what I mean? So it goes right back to the same sentence with the preneur having to transform from desire to bad bitches and good weed, and now it's la preneur. But at the end of the day, it's basically just saying that we keep it open for everybody that's trying to do something, and you're only going to be able to show that example by, you know, grabbing somebody that's from nothing and, you know, showing them how they can blow up if there's like a model or an engineer or somebody that's painting cars or just somebody that's just shooting videos, you know. And I think I had a lot of fun doing that. And as long as I got to pay my bills or, you know, insurance, car notes, rent or whatever with it, I was happy with it, man. I was really happy with it. So now Lapreneur basically got tired of, you know, turning around and, you know, giving product knowledge, because product knowledge is like what we really specialize in, and like learning something and educating the masses and public too, so they can use it for their own source or their own, you know, helpfulness. So now we just targeting, you know, just want to concentrate on just the entrepreneurs. Lapreneur recognize, you know, when I say Lapreneur, I mean to myself, like I recognize that, you know, there was a miseducation with entrepreneurs out here. You know, there's a lot of people that have the balls to start, but they don't have the direction to maintain, but they're ready to finish. However it's going to end, they ready. You know, however it's going to end, I'm ready for it, and I need to get involved with this. But from that A, B, C, D, the B and the C is missing. The A and the D is always there, and I'm just real comfortable with that because I'm like, yo, how can all this information be missing when niggas got the internet? You get what I'm saying? Man. Like you could just look up, where did I go wrong? Yeah. Maybe not literally, but there's ways that you can literally sit your ass down and go read about somebody that's trying or already did. Nobody, if you're trying to do something, that means somebody already out there did it. There's no such thing as a new idea. So Preneur is just really basically driven on just helping out entrepreneurs that already did the A part, and they're ready for the D part, and they're missing their B and C. So that just means that people got 40% done, of everything they need, and that's all you really need. And then we come around, we try to add that other 40%. Now you got 80%. The other 20 is going to come out from with your results. Your results are reflecting your effort, So if you have a gentleman that understands how to invest into himself, he knows what an LLC or incorporation is, or he knows about business credit, or he knows about real estate, he knows about getting the business bank account. He knows about that kind of stuff. Maybe he didn't do too much with it. Maybe he's still learning. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But we could sit down and give them options of what they could do to go forward affordably now that they have access to that. Before Desire Entertainment didn't have time to do that. That's like trying to do a reality show. I got to hold the camera and I got to be the co-star Goofy. That's hard to do. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because my man don't know how to focus. Yeah. He never had a Canon 9000 in his hand before. You get me?
Yeah.
They watch TV, but they not no goofies. They would love to learn, but they don't know. That's what's going on. Sometimes when a department ceased to exist, like imagine there was no fucking Section 8. What would people be doing? Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You think you're gonna let somebody rent from you? Hell no. The government has to get in and say, listen, man, this is a program, and whoever wants to benefit off the program, we have to work together. We know families out there that need houses, and we know some of y'all niggas got extra space. Stop playing. Mm-hmm. And if you don't got extra space, you know what I'm trying to say. Wink, wink.
Yeah.
Go build some shit. It will pay somebody to live there for you. We have to help each other, so we're all connected, no matter what. So Preneur had to get developed because Preneur already realized that we were stuck with each other any fucking way. Just like, if you're a DJ, you're the nervous system of the body. So nothing's going to move neurotically for me to dance, shake, or vibrate unless the DJ say, this is that shit, And then the mind and how things get marketed, that has to go through the image of whatever people perceive themselves. That's not in my business. You get what I'm saying? Yep. The DJ told me this shit is dope. The perception and experience and how it's happening, that's everybody else's job. You get what I'm saying? As long as the most relevant frequency that keeps coming through us is coming from the DJ, however we take it, that's on us. And I like that whole concept that we're all connected. So it's just like, how do we keep this in a situation where it's like a college or where it's like a university, but it's not boring and it's not isolated and it's not trapped. We can make the world our school. When I can show people like, listen, you see this yacht, this jet ski, this Maybach, this maid, this driver, they all work for themselves, but I pay them to do stuff for me because that's just what people do. But how do we have that as a package for ourselves, for our family? Got to be able to teach people that type of stuff. Yeah. Because if not, then they have a consumer mindset forever. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's like dope. Being a consumer is cool if you got the money, right? But being a creator, that's the opposite. Mm-hmm. So like knowing the opposite of consuming, you got to be able to create sometime. If you type of person, even if you don't want to leave your house, you got to do something for the planet. Something. Go plant a cherry tree or something. You know what I'm saying? Teach somebody how to clean their credit or something. Everybody has to understand that whatever we take in, there's got to be something else put out. And Preneur, that's all I do. We just put out. I could charge people $250, $350 for conversations for an hour here and there. And when I was doing that, what's so fucked up about it? I could find more people that I could charge. I could make money off of charging people how to consult with them because I do marketing and business consulting. Mm-hmm. But an individual from the hood or just a regular person, like it's just something about me that just gets so aggravated when they pay and they don't use the information and they still fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's where the teaching comes in.
It's like, it's that I might as well get the shit out for free. Mm-hmm. and touch people that really, really want to do it.
Yeah.
And the only way you're going to find the people is naturally. So if I'm naturally going through and somebody has a natural question about something, they're going to ask, man. They don't care about what you're doing or about how you're doing it. They just see that whatever it is that they have a desire for, you relate to that kind of, and they're just curious. And that curiosity could start anything. You go somewhere and eat food, man. That food could remember that food might remind you of your girlfriend's food or your mama's food or whoever. You be like, man, we should do our own goddamn restaurant. You get what I'm saying? That creator, you know what I'm saying? That creation part of your brain has to stay alive, because if not, you'll just be giving them a compliment on their food and you'll just be ready to consume again. You know, what is wrong with being a creator? Because in between creator and a consumer, there's a challenger. You know what I'm saying? The person that doesn't need to be consistent, but he needed to let you know you're not the only one out here that could do that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like at the end of the day, the challenger and the creator are being killed and the consumers becoming like the person that people are praising. And then that's why I had to create Preneur. Like, so Preneur had to be created because Desire Entertainment was a way of showing people you don't have to be comfortable being uncomfortable. If so, raise your standard of life. You know, there's a better quality of life out there. There's more than just going with 9 to 5 every day. You can do this. I got a felony, you know, I got gun charges, drug charges, all of that. I can't do no basic shit. So I have to work for multi-million-dollar companies or create my own contracts or find contracts that companies want to give me that I can negotiate with. So I'm for now and ever indebted to working with people. I don't work for nobody ever. And I think that like what happened is at a young age, catching my drug charges at like 19, 20, 21 or whatever, like you could think like, oh shit, that's what everybody's doing. We're all working with each other. As soon as the confusion comes in that you're working for some people, that's when you start losing, and then you allow your family and your friends to lose because there's nobody else shaking that lead. And it just looks like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? When I didn't know about Technique 1200s, before Mr. Djaytiger was putting me onto him, I just thought about having a turntable. And then I thought it was okay to get in this man's lane and maybe I had a chance. And then he started talking about the needles that you had to get. And then specific Technique 1200s and how the arms and the needle, these are all different type of components that this is not my lane. I had to back off. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
So like once, and this is something that Tiger educated me to. Like if this is not your lane, you're going to find out. Stay with me. And then you're going to be honest. Do you want to be the artist or do you want to be a DJ, a dancer? You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And Tiger was a person that allowed me to see like, yo, that's not my lane. I like to do rap for real because the technical side is amazing. You get what I'm saying? The quality of the needle. I didn't even know you could take a needle out of the arm and replace a needle. I didn't even know that a needle was something that you could break and you had to get that. Tiger used to have to go through that. Tiger was bringing me to Sam Ash before I even knew Sam Ash was across the street from the mall. It was just a place that you could go to. You get what I'm saying? And that's how I fell in love with like electric guitar and real sound. Like Tiger is a real important part of a preneur. Because, you know, it's just the root word of entrepreneur. You get what I'm saying? The entry word is you know, entree, right? Yep. That's just introduction to a taker. So preneur just means to take. You have to take advantage, take initiative. You got to take the fucking time and chance every time you see it that you can to take your shot. So you just have to take whatever you want to add on to that. You could take your knowledge and use it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Tiger was one of the first preneurs that I get to see in my life as a young kid before I even knew what the fuck entrepreneur was. Because people have to book him, the quality of the work that he has to provide, it has to speak for itself. He doesn't have to oversell what his service is. People are just getting familiar with it and he's consistent. And now people would say, man, it's a party this weekend. Well, you know, who's the DJ? And now that matters because of people on the level of Djaytiger or somebody equivalent. So if I was to say, what you mean, nigga, it's a party this Friday, I'm the DJ, people could question. You get what I'm saying? Because there ain't no social media to gas it up. They can't put no pretty girl on the flyer that's never going to be there. First of all, the girl that's on the flyer, she's not going to be there. You get what I'm saying? It's all real vibration. It's like your neighborhood has to matter from the Route 110 was our internet. So from Wyandanch to Amityville to fucking all the way to the water, whatever parties that was going around, you know, depending on how hard you work to being a DJ, a dancer, a rapper, a hustler, a good mom, or whatever, you could have been a basketball player. Like that 110, that's where you mattered. You get what I'm saying? And if your shit wasn't rocking, then you wasn't consistent enough. You had plenty of time to work on yourself. The people told you if you was trash without even telling you was trash, and you had plenty of time to work on your craft. That is preneuring. You have to take the time to pay attention. That shit is free. You know what I'm saying? Broken people and broken-minded people think it's too expensive to be focused. So if you're not focused, then you're already saying you broke. So it's just like, damn, man, I don't got the money. Man, I don't have money for this. Then you must not be focusing on something or paying attention about something, because that shit is free to do. And I don't know what you're looking at, so I can't tell you how to focus on. And a person like Djaytiger could teach you at least what you need to be focused on if you're already close to it. It's like he's already a DJ, so he already needs to know how the equipment works. Once he knows how the equipment works, he already knows how to make people dance. He just need to know where do people want to dance at? And how many times and how much energy does he have to do to keep that up? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Once he knows, like, man, people want to dance every weekend, cool. I could be out every weekend, but shit, my equipment got to be right. Once the equipment is right, now the music got to be relevant. Once the music is relevant, I just got to keep up with all three of those things. A lot of people will not preneur themselves to do that. They'll just be like, yo, I got the dope equipment because my man told me to get it. And, social media is popping. He's popping. I need to be like that because this is what he's doing. But that technical side, they skipping that. That's the B and the C. You get what I'm saying?
Yep.
People are just like, man, my man's a DJ. I'm going to get involved with that shit. And if it don't work, fuck it. That's D. That could have been DJ Envy. He seen DJ Clue riding down the block. Shit, I probably could have been a DJ Envy fucking around with Djaytiger. You get what I'm saying? Because he was my DJ Clue. I didn't know nothing about the fucking DJ Clue. Djaytiger looked like DJ Clue to me. Because that was the closest DJ Clue that I had. You get what I'm saying? Of knowing when somebody's coming to town. And, what artist was relevant from reggae, you know what I'm saying, to hip-hop, to old school, to new school. So having an actual knowledge of being well-rounded in your craft, that is preneur. You get me? And then what's so funny about this preneur shit? About everybody being connected and have to have well-rounded knowledge and being versatile about what they do in their craft in order to succeed or to make it out or to teach somebody else how to succeed and help you later is that later on, anybody that you talk to that's good at what they do, they know fucking everything about what they doing. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like, if you can't work with people that know a little bit about everything about what they're doing, it's never going to work anyway. Yeah. And I think that's what Preneur is out here telling people. So basically Preneur has a clothing line. You know what I'm saying? We have services that we provide, but the average person, we're not doing that for. That's for like desiring them. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Desire entertainment, bad bitches and good weed will fuck with the common, everyday, I think I want to do this, but I don't know if I want to do this type of person. Preneur is the company that's like, we're going to deal with everybody from Djaytiger to Elon Musk because we know what they dealing with. You get what I'm saying? Them hours that they got to put in. And so Preneur is basically like Drink Champs. We have to show appreciation to people that actually survive and live their life off of something that they desired. And they always stuck with that because they understood all of the ups and downs in the A through D or A through Z of it. And you know that person only because of that. You get what I'm saying? If Djaytiger was to become a chef, a car salesman, or a parachute jumper, we still know him for DJing because that is his preneur. That is his desire. Yeah. Music is his passion, and he's not playing with that. So if I had a shirt or a pair of clothes or a certain event, that's the type of person you want there. You get what I'm saying? Because I trust if I turn my back and he talks to somebody else, it's going to make sense. The passion and production is going to be on the same level. There's a level of commitment that is there that's going to force you to understand and to keep on going. The average person don't have that. They just have impulse. Like, oh man, and ambition. Ambition don't put the gas in the car, and it don't start the car and get the car rolling. It just lets you know where you could go. Like, damn. I have a lot of ambition, right? Yeah. You need to be driven. When you have drive, I could throw your bitch ass in the ocean and you're going to find a way to survive. And you never even knew land was around. You get what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You're going to break your leg. It's all good. You heard that they healed themselves after a couple of weeks. You're so driven that like whatever part of your body if it breaks down, you're depending on it to do its job. Oh, I broke my leg, whatever. It's going to heal. I got other shit to do. It's like people lose their drive because they don't be around people with drive. Because why would they? How can you be around somebody with drive when they're gone? Boom. So you got to try to keep up. It has to be a level of groups of people that are black, that are forcing people to keep up with people and kill their egos. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
Put
the big
this shit
part
to
of
the
it.
side. You know what I'm saying? Put that shit to the side that like, you know, you're not better or this or that. It's just, yo, listen, people is just trying to educate people to their real power. Then that dude is flying. To their real power and their wealth. 40% of everything over here that does not matter. And that does matter. Black people are consumers of that.
Yep.
I'm just trying to figure out a way to spark a match on the people and, you know, make them be more creators or at least challengers. You know, think about what I'm saying. If it's a car, if it's a drink, if it's a food, if it's a clothes, you know, black people are buying that. Melanated people, 40%. So they were buying it in abundance in a way that's probably keeping these companies going. So if you could teach at least, you know, 40% of the black people that are doing something, that want to do something, have an ambition to do something, to be driven, and it should be humble with themselves enough to just learn how to become better. And, you know, if you suck, you got to be honest with yourself and say, you fucking suck. And then you try again. You get what I'm saying? Like, it has to be some type of reflection of showing that that's okay and to keep going, because we don't have that. You know, white people got the fucking Forrest Gump. You know, this motherfucker ran goddamn 15 states or some shit to do some shit. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. We got Martin Lawrence. He argued with Gina's ass forever. You get what I'm saying? So, and he's in Detroit in a little ass fucking apartment. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, like, the only reflection that we have really of that is patience for mental, which is your man Bill Cosby. In between Bill Cosby is the challenger. You get what I'm saying? Bill Cosby is the creator. The challenger is your man Uncle Phil. He got, you know, Will. That's a challenge, taking in another family member from another side of the family, and y'all paid. You get what I'm saying? Bill Cosby, he was a creator. Yeah. He created a family. He gonna make sure he creates a legacy, and he maintains that. I'm wealthy. I have a butler. My sweater game is up. My kids are gonna go to college. That's a spinoff called A Different World. You heard? So, like, at the end of the day, that creating on top of creating, that was the only example we had on top of that. Then they killed that. Now you got the challenger. So what's up, Uncle Phil? Can I come live in your big ass house? And you ain't gonna choke me, right? You get me? So now Uncle Phil got to show you that you can still be black, wealthy, and still help your family out. Let them come live in the crib. They killed that. Now we got Martin. You get me? Now you got to start all over with this ambitious shit. Every day is a new day. You know? Tomorrow's another day. Just be happy with what you have. Yeah. Fuck that, man. But what they're trying to say, that is more people that have ambition than drive, and that and warrior challenges in them, like Uncle Phil. You get what I'm saying? You got to be a warrior to taking people from your family. Understand that's going to still help you out, but you ain't getting nothing out of that. You just making sure that in your mind, you know, there's another warrior, another person in your bloodline that's going to be Gucci, because you taking them in with knowledge and with some type of environmental upgrade. You get what I'm saying? Your man Bill Cosby is the creator, because he's looking at it like, don't ever let nobody play you. And if you out here, if you're going to get gas to the spell of what they doing, I got something for that. You get what I'm saying? People need to know the value of life. Where you want to live? How much does it cost? Do you know how much it costs? I learned that from Bill Cosby. His son wanted to move out. His son thought he could move out for $500 or $1,000. Man, they had ill episodes on that. Money, who you are, what's education, how to be patient, temperament. All of that shit comes from educated, valuable motherfuckers. That's a preneur. You get what I'm saying? Man. So, like, yes, beautiful. I observe all of this stuff, because that's what you have to do as a preneur. Yeah. Maybe I wanted to be a DJ, then I needed to know about needles and Technique 1200s, nigga. You get what I'm saying? So that's a conversation I have to have, and I've never touched a fucking turntable in my life, but I understand what this is what people have to be doing. We living in a situation where we living at war. This is a war for information. And if you don't know, somebody else does, and they're going to fly over you. You get what I'm saying? You can't let your whole society and your culture be treated like Jim Jones. You get what I'm saying? Jim Jones, the rapper, that's my man. He's a cool nigga. But he's too smart, too valuable, too resourceful, and he's too productive. And he just can't sit the fuck down. Nah, you get what I'm saying? And just put that shit in put that shit in some fuck. He's supposed to be. It's not like there's no bullshit, my nigga. This nigga Jim Jones is supposed to be like the Steve Jobs of like hip hop. You get what I'm saying? Because he created a way for us to record while we was on the move. before Jim Jones was around, nigga, I had to go to a studio. We had to go to Hit Factory. We used to hear about Hit Factory because Pac and them niggas was there. I used to bring, women to the Hit Factory because the old white man that owns it, he was into it. Then he owned it. Then he opened up another Hit Factory in Miami. And, and it was just about history and recording where people actually had credibility. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now nigga can record in the basement. Why?
Open a laptop.
Why? Because Jim Jones has real white friends. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's a cool ass dude. He asks questions.
Yep.
When people that record their guitar, they're using an M box. They're recording the sound of the guitar live through the M box, and it's going to the laptop, and they can take that with them anywhere. Jim Jones asked what could he do with the words, and he said yes. M boxes and recording on the go was not around before Dipset was around.
Mm-hmm.
Jim Jones created that flexibility.
Yep.
He don't even talk about that. He never tried to create his own machine or nothing. He could have came up with a Dipset inbox and lied to us and told us you couldn't did anything unless you did this, tried something. I don't know. I just think that's an amazing, pioneer. You get what I'm saying?
You don't get recognized for that, like you said.
Never. Think about what I'm saying, bro. People will be paying $500 an hour right now through some white men. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because he owns the real estate.
Yeah.
And your man that's black got the equipment, but he got to charge the other black brother extra amount of money because we in this building. But Jim Jones figured out a way for you to record in your mama's house, bro. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, niggas wasn't doing that.
Yeah.
So I look at it like that kind of energy. It's a lot of people doing stuff like that. A lot of clothing lines getting created, people not getting no credit for. A lot of love being shown, but niggas not seeing the love getting shown. Towns and cities getting built. People maintaining through all of this COVID stuff, ups and downs. So that's what Preneur's about, man.
Mm-hmm.
Showing, putting myself in a position that I can maintain my life, put my family on, and anybody else that I see doing the same thing, we show them love because we don't want them to stop. Because you need to know somebody's watching your ass.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody out there that's positive. It could be a son or your uncle or, you know what I'm saying, the neighbor or, who knows, man, they watching you. And they need to have options of alternative lifestyles that are positive coming from a perspective of the black echelon or the black, you know what I'm saying, rich paradigm, a luxurious, version of it. That's why, like your man Jay-Z said, like, it's like dominoes, the higher I go, only spot a few blacks the higher I go.
Yeah.
Shout out to Will. Shout out to O. That ain't enough. We need some more. It's like, yo, man, $1 billion, man.
Well, I hope I don't get flagged for that line because every time I play Jay-Z, my screen gets blocked. But that's another story.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
Yeah, because he run titles, so he don't allow his music to be nowhere else. But that's another story.
Yeah.
But brother, man, I got educated. Like this is what was dope about this combo because getting the education from younger people that have this mind state of being something. I was telling my son earlier, we always see in the media, about the rappers, they're killing each other, the ones that got no talent, and anything else ain't highlighted as much as rappers or basketball players, and we much more than that. And just to see y'all young brothers doing what y'all do, man, it's inspiring to me. Like, I didn't even know I was inspiring you with the turntables. I was just doing it because I just love doing it. I had no idea. So that touched me, bro, when you told that story. Real talk. And I love both of y'all. Y'all know that. And I want to see y'all thrive. And please give your info to me. I want to put it in the chat so people can reach out to you. And you could bless more people with your knowledge and hopefully work for people that got the drive as much as the ambition. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
So let me know your email, how to get in contact with you.
I'll put it in the chat. We got a website that you can go to, and anything that you basically need, you can put it in the information box, and it'll get sent to our email. Or you can email us directly. I'll give you both of those in chat.
Okay. So what's the website? You could say it while you typing it, and I'll. I'll put it in the YouTube chat.
Let's see.
So, Preneur Inc.
PreneurInc.com. Mm-hmm. And then the email itself would be Mr. Hunter at lapreneur.club.
Mr. Hunter at.
I'm gonna put it in the chat for you.
A lot of people didn't pronounce it LA-preneur, but it's lapreneur, like the preneur, the taker.
Lapreneur.
But
nice. Okay.
Yeah, LA-preneur. Mm-hmm. We're a private company. We move the way we move because when people reach a certain level, they know how to use and what they need that's useful. You know, I don't see a lot of commercials for Bugattis, you know, Rolls Royces and stuff like that.
They sell it.
But usually when you hit the lotto, they know where to find that dealership.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
That's the kind of services that, like, you know, we provide. People have to have a full understanding of whatever they get involved with already. Mm-hmm. And if not, we understand that as well. So if we have the time, we don't mind helping them out, giving them a little direction. Mm-hmm. As long as we all make money and make some type of history and do epic shit, you know? Definitely. We just did, you know, Isaiah just helped me do something with, you know, a food company or a restaurant chain, Toxic Wings. And that was a good example of Preneur, because all money isn't good money. You know, Toxic Wings is a good company. They're cool, but they're still learning. So, you know, for us to do business with them consistently, it would have been a headache. They have a lot of things that they got to learn. But if they got a good menu, they're all over the place. It's a great concept. But, you know, sometimes when people aren't ready to go consistently, they need to have the staff and the right mindset for it. Or the next person that meets them, they could just abuse them and take advantage of them. We're not in it for that. You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like, just because they got the money to pay for the services doesn't mean that, like, we're just going to take it. We just need to make sure they have a full understanding of what they can do. You know?
That's dope. That's a dope mindset to have, man. And, you know, we're going to be in touch. You already know that, man. We're going to be doing business. You already know. So, man, thank y'all, family, young black entrepreneurs, for this. This going to be on repeat. For sure people going to get a lot of knowledge and just dope information from this show today. Word up. You hear me? Hello? Oh, he's going in and out. Word. Demara, what's good? I see you. All right,
that
son.
Pops? Can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. What'd you say?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit better.
Okay. No, I was just saying, you know, thanking y'all once again. And, you know, we're going to be in touch, and we're going to be all doing our thing together. And, you know, family, you know, we support each other.
Yes, sir.
You already know.
Yes, sir.
All right. So, yeah, a lot of people enjoyed this show. And it will be on repeat, I'm telling you. So
hopefully inspire some people out there to go out and do what they love, make some money with it, you know?
Exactly. All right, y'all. I will see y'all later on the pre-games. Oh, there you go. And salute to you, Ty, as well. I see you out there relaxing right now. And I'll be talking to y'all soon, man.
Yes, sir.
All right. Young black entrepreneurs, y'all. Inspiration and blessing. Word up. Peace.